Hi everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. All right, I am here with part 2, a final flip through of my Recipe Keeper journal. Well, it's going to be a journal too, but this is actually a recipe book that can sit on a counter. So if you haven't seen the first one, the first video of my process, that will be in the description box. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go through this. So I've made myself a few notes to kind of talk to you about my process here. And so I've done a lot of figuring things out. Now, in hindsight, I think I would have made it just a little bit smaller, like maybe 5.5 by 4. I don't know. I did have to use, the reason I'm saying that is because I had to use a lot of my 11.5 or 11 by 8.5 paper, which is no big deal. If I would have had 12 by 12, I could have done a 6 by 6 and that would have been perfect because this is 6 1/4 by 5 3/4. So I could have gotten more sheets out of a 12 by 12. Didn't have them, but I did want to get this done. So what I did use was this paper. I get it from, I think this is from Michael's, or it could be Hobby Lobby. Anyway, one of them. I know it isn't Joann's because they do like paper craft or something, or they did, and not good stuff. I didn't like it. But anyway, this is my go-to paper for a lot of stuff. So I did use that for the inside. So I would have kept that in mind for the paper, or I would specifically order 12 by 12 paper so that I could get more use out of it. So let's see, these right here, when I punched the holes, then I Mod Podged it. That's all in the first video. I'm not going to go through all that again. What I would do is Mod Podge everything first, and then I would punch my holes, because some of the Mod Podge pooled up in the holes. I mean, it flips okay, but it did seem to be hard to kind of get in there. So I would keep that in mind. So I'm kind of looking at my notes over here. Let's see, we'll start going through. Oh, another thing was, if I do this one again, I've kept my template for my cinch, and I've put what this is. So this will go in my idea book so that I have my template to do that again. I do like the size. I mean, I think it's, yeah, it's kind of a perfect size. So it was worth the paper. Another thing I thought before I cinched it, which you're going to see at the end of this, I wanted to make sure I did the flip through video first, and then I'm going to show you the cinch process. Once I cinched it all up, now these things are like hindsight 2020. I wished I would have put this little envelope in the back and added it right to the binding, because in here there's some extra recipe cards, and a friend of mine had a really good idea and said this would make a great bridal shower gift. I'm like, oh yeah. And then to write some of your own recipes. So on these ones, I printed them out, and then I just backed them with the coffee dyed paper, and they're going to go in this envelope. And like I said, had I thought about it at first, I would have just added this in. I could probably finagle it in there, but I'm not going to try, because I want to show you another way you can add pages. So what I did was I just took a piece of the extra paper that I had printed out, and I folded it in half. I punched again, and I only punched 8 holes in this one. And then here's a simple way that you can add pages, or when you hindsight 2020, you can add these to your binding. So I'm just snipping straight lines, and this is why I doubled this up, was to make it a little bit more sturdy too. And if you just snip those, then you can go ahead and add them to your journal. So you just add them each in between. And they're a little bit finagly to get in there. You could also put like a little more paper on the top to strengthen them. But if you just work with it, it will go in there, as you can see. They're starting to go in there. You just got to work with it a little bit. And then, yeah, I'll have an envelope on the back. All right, so I'll finish that off later because actually I got it wrong. But anyway, you get the idea. And I'm kind of being not very gentle with it as well. Even if this was Mod Podged, that would give it some more strength as well. So I'm going to get that out of there. Okay. And so I wanted to go over that. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started in the recipe book. So it's so cool. I was obsessed with this and ideas kept coming to me. I'll try to, if I remember all of them that came to me, I tried to write most of them down. I will tell you as I go along. All right, so you're going to flip the book, and then like I had said in the previous video, you turn it around, and here's your kitchen measurements. So very quickly, you can turn that around, get your measurements, and then go back to your recipes. All right, so here, I'm going to see if I'm in shot. Okay, yep, I am. All right, so I also have a stamp that has all of these cool like beverages, all this stuff on it. I will link that in the description box as well. So I went through, decided I wanted to put little tabs on to tell you kind of which area you were in. As you can see, I fussy cut down some of the images as close to the picture as I could get it. I just thought it gave it a cleaner, sharper look, and I'm not a fussy cutter, let me tell you. So I did do it though. I got it done. And also this border here, I actually took the orange and the green border within the kit, and I did these 4 to a page because I wanted to get a very tight gingham so that when I put this around it, it just gave it, I thought it gave it a cleaner look. So I really wanted to do that. And then when you flip it, of course, you turn it and your instructions are on the back because like I had said in the last video, I write very big, so by the time I put these directions here, I know I'm going to need more space. If you can write tiny, well then this just gives you another space to add another recipe. And this isn't, you know, to be like your main recipe book. This is just a couple pages for each category to add, you know, some of your favorites. All right, so when I got to this one, and this is what I'm talking about on the stamp, this all came within the stamp. But this part that prints out as tabs, I didn't like it as much as I liked this. Plus, I hate cutting out the tabs. So I just wanted to use that inside dotted border. So I just printed a bunch, put my categories in there, and then glued them in. Now this one, with the green, and I alternated every one. So if I used the orange recipe card, I used the green border. Now on this one, I went and I did 2 to a page because I wanted the gingham to be a little bit bigger. Amanda just posted a video of how you change your sizes. So I have 2 cards per category. And as you can see, if I did green, I did orange. Now I may go back and add some of the little food items to them, but I wanted to get them all in the book. It won't be hard. Also, you can lay this down and write in it, and you can turn it around and lay it down and write in it, but it's still gonna stand back up when you push it back out. All right, so then I have my appetizers, and I have to show you like each one of the front, because this is where I focus the ladies, and just decorating the page to sort of give that each page a pop. And then after that, I just did the simple pages. So then I have breads, and it looks like she's carrying a pie, but it's a bread pie, so that's what I'm looking at it as. So then we go to soups, and then of course I've just from the words that Amanda gave us, I just put, oh, I actually put that backwards. Haha, it was supposed to be soup starters, and I put starter soups. that's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. And then when this one, I only had enough ladies to do, I think 6 of them, and I had 7 of these. So, and then I just put the salad stuff in there, some little of the embellishments here. And then with the meats, again, I put main recipe. These I just cut apart from the words. And then with her, I decided she's carrying a meat pie. Could be a mincemeat pie. My dad loved mincemeat pies. And then on this one, I put desserts and added a little bit more. And then of course she's carrying her little dessert. Super cute, right? So if you flip it again, you could always put something here. And here's kind of a thought that I had, and I might do it because I could easily slip it into here. If you're gonna give this as a gift for a, shower, you could put a little envelope in the back that says, I'm just too tired to cook tonight, and tuck some money in there, so that's what they can go out to eat on. So I had so many ideas for this kit. They're still rolling in my head. I had so many ideas for this recipe book. I thought you could even at one point I was like, no, I can't, I've got to move on. I can't keep going. You could also take this page, and instead of doing a couple pages of the recipe thing, you could actually add the envelope in here and tuck down 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. It'll give them a little bit more real estate of recipes, and maybe do your heading up here but have your envelope. I don't know, the ideas just kept coming to me. I couldn't get them out of my head. I couldn't sleep last night. So I'm gonna try to get this video up tomorrow, which would be March 30th. I'm trying my hardest to do that. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you see here and you had any questions for me that I might not have answered, please just leave me a comment in the comment section. I do have a Facebook page. It's not really like a social page. It's just a information page. It's in the description box. If you go over there and you have any questions for me on what I used, paper, how I did it, but it is mostly in that first video. Feel free to jump over there, join that page, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. So now, without further ado, we're gonna head into the binding part. I just didn't want to show you that because I wanted all of the elements to be a grand surprise. So we're gonna head over there right now. Okay, everyone, now is the time that we're going to cinch. So a couple things. So my handle is up. This is going to be the part where the wires go in. This is where you can make an adjustment. You push and turn, and you want it just to snug in there just to get you started, okay? So you can put that where you need it to get that to snug in. So I'm just going to show you the actual panel, and I've put my desk down a little bit so we can see it together. So what you do is when you push this handle down, this plate comes down, and that's how you bind your wires. All right, so I'm going to put it in there. Now I'm going to put it just past these little things here that it's going to catch it if I don't get these out of the way. So I like to do mine a couple different ways. So I think I'm going to start this way first. I want to make sure it's within the plate, and technically you're supposed to be able to just push that down and be one and done, but I sort of cinch mine a little bit at a time. And the reason is I like to just sort of make sure that's straightened up. It's starting to make a nice shape. If I have to move it or adjust it, I can. Now I'm cinching it a little bit right now. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to be able to get my sheets in there. But I just play with mine a little bit because I notice that if I'm not conscious of that, then it doesn't come out looking quite as nice. All right, so let's turn it this way. I'm going to get the handle out of the way. And now we're going to talk about these here. I normally don't use these, but I thought, you know, I really should start to use them and think about how my papers should go in there so I can get that right. So I am going to go ahead and do it this way. And I'm just going to get my desk rolled back up real quick. Okay, so I have all of my papers in the order in which I need them, and I'm gonna, you're gonna double check, make sure, like I did this combination of orange, green, and then I went to the appetizer, and that was orange, so I did green. So I did go in and sort of get everything where I needed it. So what we want to do is we want the back part of this to be going to this. And so this is why you're going to hang them like this. And the reason is you want to hide that part on the inside of the book, not have it sticking out the back. So what I'm going to do, because I want my back page to be my first page that ends up back here, is I'm just going to start laying my pages. Now you don't lay your cover until the end, because that's going to be the last thing that flips up and over. So you can see I pinched it together a little bit, but I can still get my pages in there. And they're all laying exactly like I had them. I'm not changing the layout. Just make sure you get them all in the right holes. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep doing that. And oh, I missed that one. Don't want to miss them. Sometimes you just have to be patient and do them one at a time. I'm trying to hurry here and get them all done. All right, so then I have that here. Now, this is going to be, let's see, this is my front. So this one, let me double check that. So if I'm looking at it this way, it's going to be your back side as well. Or you're going to put your back side, because once it flips over, hang on a second. I always have to think about this. No, it's going to go like this. So when the whole thing flips to the back, it's all going to work. Now, I'm going to turn this around. And let's see here. I've got my little example here. And I'm going to put, let's see. Yep, I'm going to put this to the front side. Or I'm just going to put this on, because once these get pinched together, this whole thing is going to flip. And I did it wrong. No, I didn't. Huh. Okay, I didn't do it wrong. All right, so it's all going to flip over to the front, making these hide up underneath. And this is all going to flip over to the front. All right, so now we're going to cinch it and hope I have it right, because I can't redo this video. Can't redo it. I have nothing left to cinch. So I'm going to go ahead and put I got to get my arm up. I'm going to go ahead and put my cinch in, or my wires in there. And like I said, I'm just kind of looking at it to make sure I have it within the area. It's pressed to the back. And then I'm just going to start pushing down. And then, like I said, I take it out. I kind of look at it. I think I'll switch it around because I'm trying to get it to be nice and rounded. And I might move it down a little bit. And then one thing I don't quite do until the very, very end is I do not cinch these completely closed. Because if I have to take anything apart, then it's my opportunity. I'm sorry, I've got to get back in camera. I don't cinch any of these super closed until I'm ready, because now I'm going to do the test. Can I flip this to the back and have this lay to the front? Which it does. And my wires are hidden on the inside to the back. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip that back over. I got to put those books, that book part back in there, and then I'm going to cinch it down tight. But yeah, this gives me an opportunity to make any adjustments that I need to before it's too late. All right, so I'm going to put that back in there. And then I'm just gonna, it's starting to get there. Get this back over here where I can really see it. And then I think I'm gonna flip it again. And I suppose you could just jam it down there, but I'm a little bit persnickety, so I want it to, but you want them just to meet up to the edge. You don't want them coming through to the other side, and that's why I'm just a little more cautious and careful, and I just don't slam it down in there. Now, if this was set on the right one, because I had already tightened it up a little bit, theory is you can just push it down and it would just set, you know, if I put it back to like the 1 1/4, it shouldn't go any further than what it's going to take to set those. But like I said, I like to be a little more careful. All right, so we have that done. And now I'm going to flip everything over. And voila, there we have it. There is my flip book. Beverages. Well, you know, you get the idea. Appetizers, breads, soups. Isn't that cool? And then you can put your instructions on the back. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching my video, and give this a shot if you can. And it's awesome. I love it. And I hope you enjoyed the flip through and the thoughts and ideas that I had to go along with it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.